1995. It was a huge year for me. It's the year I started my 8-year run as the most dominant female rope jumper on the planet. Still feels good to say.
The world had never even heard of speed jumping before. The technology just simply didn't exist.
It was like roping with an Olympian weightlifter. She had a mustache. There's no way she wasn't on steroids. And I'm pretty sure cocaine, too.
So here comes this 4-year-old out of Nebraska, of all places, and we all fell in love. And I guess we all fell in love with roping again.
Seriously, nobody else can see that this wasn't a 4-year-old girl, but a full-grown man.
When Tessica Jessica sprained her wrist in the 5th set, my heart sank.
Oh, the Bretz can't jump! She's down!
Right there! It's a wig! He's wearing a wig.
I told the doctor. I looked him right in his eye. I said, you tape this. You tape it right now. I'm not coming out. I'm staying in, and I'm going to go.
All legends have a beginning. Sliced like a knife, the Tessica Jessica butter knife story.
He's wearing a wig!
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins for box score. Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. They are the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. Guys, big weekend in sports. Let's dive right in. Jason Day won his first major by 3 strokes at the PGA Championship this weekend. Paulie, are we starting to see too many stars in golf, or is it the more the merrier?
Too many stars? That's an interesting question. You know, too many would be a bad thing. If you had like a dozen guys that were good, you'd rather have 3 dudes that are like in play. I think, you know, over the past 5 years, there's a bunch of guys I thought were going to be good. Spieth is entrenched. Adam Scott's the guy I like and I wish would be kind of in there more. Rory McIlroy, you want him more, he's not. But like, it's becoming Spieth sport, at least in America, where I'm just waiting for them to cut to where he's playing.
Can I ask you a technique question? You repeated Brock's question and said, that's a good question, Brock. Were you buying 5 seconds to come up with an answer?
I was, because I hadn't heard the question before, and I wanted to give
I didn't
a coherent
expect that
answer.
one either.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's a little trick, I guess, to think about the question for a second so I don't just spout out something that's useless.
There you go. Kids at home.
Politician, yeah, kids at home. Jim Nance called in today, the man who called the PGA Championship, and talked about Day's place in golf.
He's we say the real deal, and he is. He is just a gifted talent, and you start thinking about now we have to wait 8 months until Augusta, but you have Jason, you have Rory, who of course didn't win a major this year, but won the last 2 last year. Then you have Jordan. Man, it's a good time for the game, and your thought that the game is still wrapped up in kind of what's Tiger doing? I think that's always going to be true because he's one of the greatest players in the game. But I've sensed here lately that people are really starting to get it, that the game is in really good hands.
Yeah, that's just kind of getting back to what we were just talking about a moment ago about some other names involved. Not that we're forgetting about Tiger, but we're moving on and, pulling for, I was pulling for Day as far as the story of, Spieth trying to get a third in the calendar year as far as a third championship would have been great. But knowing what Day was going through with the vertigo in recent months and having to battle that, thankfully he was okay there. It seems like it's kind of a new era in golf, and we're
battling vertigo sounds so lame though. Can we just get that out?
Can we
there
just
for
get
a
all
second?
the whans out for Jason Day?
I've got a touch of vertigo. I just don't know if I can go on today.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, suck it up.
Jason Day, who was suffering from vertigo or high anxiety, whichever it was, earned a cool $1.8 million for his effort. A lot better than a participatory trophy. Now, the conversation switched over today to these automatic trophies these kids are getting. McLovin, you seem to be in favor of participatory trophies. How much did getting a trophy, regardless of your team standings, motivate you to play organized sports?
Well, actually,
they didn't have them when you were kids, right?
I don't know if they had them because I've been this height since I was 9 years old, Brock. So I was like, remember when Bill Murray blocks that kid's shot in Rushmore? That was me as a youth basketball player. So I was dominant. I won MVP of everything. I'm actually not exaggerating. And I played in the Jewish youth leagues. So the competition wasn't great. Sorry, Fritzy.
That's all right.
So I don't know if we have participatory programs.
Was
but,
that an anti-Jewish athletic statement you just made?
That's just kind of.
You can make that joke, though.
Paulie, under what circumstances are participatory trophies valid?
I would say no. I'm kind of against it. A trophy seems to me you've won something. I think kind of a second place trophy kind of stinks. Like, hey, here's a reminder of you not winning. I won a few trophies for archery, and not many, but I remember when I won a first place trophy, it felt freaking great because it meant like there's no question about this trophy. You don't look and go, oh, second place. But I noticed that my daughter got a medal the other day for finishing camp, which I paid for the camp, so I assume she's going to finish it. But I was kind of surprised, but I didn't debunk it in front of her. But she debunked it in front of me. She goes, well, all the kids got one, but she still liked it around her neck.
She was proud of it, right?
She was happy to have something shiny around her neck. Yeah, I don't know if she, I think she's more proud that she actually could. She did this thing called an egg roll or something like that, and she showed it to me, and she's like, I couldn't do that at the start of the week, and now I can. She was excited about showing me that moment more than showing me the
Can I tell you, sorry, I'm total aside. One time I won a tennis tournament, the Julian Krinsky Tennis Academy had tournaments. I won the tournament. I beat some kid who had some sort of hitch in his left leg in the first round.
That's his issue.
Totally, I don't know what was wrong with him. He couldn't get to the ball. Then the next two guys no-showed because they couldn't get a ride or something. So I won the trophy for my age group, even though I won a first-round match. And I was about the lowest seed in the tournament, but I was stoked to win that trophy. It actually was a piece of paper. It wasn't even big. 2 no-shows.
And a handicap.
Technically, he was handicapped, yes.
I don't know how you could possibly display
He didn't have a sticker on that bar. He didn't have a sticker.
I'll tell you, I posted that. It wasn't even a trophy. It was a piece of paper.
He parks where everybody else parks.
Well, Seton, how about this? Your son's getting to trophy age. Are you going to hype up the trophy or sort of minimize its importance?
No, the problem that I'm facing, and I don't know where the hell my kid gets this, is that he already believes he's a star athlete. And so I have to really try to be like, okay, buddy, yeah, but you know what? You're not actually that good yet. Like, you really got to work hard and you really have to practice. So I'm actually really tough with my son about awards and accolades and stuff like this. He really doesn't get much. Although he does get a lot of positive reinforcement, but he already believes that he's like, Daddy, I've been through 2 camps already. I'm already a better soccer player than you. And I'm like, all right. So then I'd be like, all right, do you really want to play? Yeah, okay. And then I score on him, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so next time you should try to stop me. He's like, okay, well, I'm probably the second best player then.
Yeah, on the lawn.
Okay, all right. Well, let's, so you try to.
If you guys play with 10, what's the score? Like 10-6? 10-7?
No, like, so we'll play hockey. We'll play like hockey on the floor, and we have these nets, and I make it more interesting than it usually ends up like 21-20. He won.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, so you do let him win to some extent. I know we talked about that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. For certain things.
You're
but then there are times though that he'll be like, Daddy, I can run way faster than you, and I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. But he's like, no, seriously, I'm the fastest runner. I'm like, all right, you want to have a race? Cool, all right. And I just completely destroy him. And I'm like, all right, buddy, where's your speed now, kid?
Or if you let them take the lead and start taunting.
I'm like, buddy, you gotta start running faster if you're gonna come step to the champion here. You gotta start running faster. And he's like, all right, I like that.
All right, that has been Parenting 101 here on the Box Score. All right, coming up, did our next guest receive a participatory award? We'll all guess. We have no idea. Hey, your kid's playing sports? Don't give them a crappy trophy. Give them a Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Get out of the way, little Jimmy Smith. Your 6-year-old friend has a Ram 1500 Eco Diesel and owns the sidewalk and the playground. That's right, baby. Does it fuel efficiently, too. Get more facts. RamTrucks.com, Guts Glory Ram.
Two-a-days auditioned for American Idol on Sunday in Philadelphia. Now, he's not allowed to tell us anything, so we don't even know if he's going to Hollywood. I have to replace him if he goes to Hollywood.
Poor guy had to get breakfast this morning.
I know, he did. Yeah, welcome back to reality. He's bringing my breakfast this morning. He goes, yeah, back to reality. I said, yeah, sorry, dude.
Welcome back to the Box Score. We are joined by a very special guest. I believe this is the second person to be on Box Score besides Jake in Wisconsin. It's our very own Two-A-Days. Twers' audition for American Idol in Philadelphia on Sunday. Twers, what was scarier, your American Idol audition or your first time being on the DP show on air?
I'd have to say the American Idol audition because playing music in front of people that are that good at music is pretty nerve-wracking.
Now, Twers, a major perk of your job is being around beautiful women out there in the man cave. Now, tell the truth. You were in front of Jennifer Lopez.
Beautiful
Did you
pictures
try
of
to
women.
spit some game at J-Lo?
I may have stared at her too long, I think, so it kind of came off maybe a little creepy. No flirting, so...
Did it feel like it went really fast when you got in the room where you're like, holy cow, what happened?
I was
an
like
out-of-body experience?
I was like Will Ferrell in Old School
Yeah,
when he
like
blacks out. And I was just done, and I was out. I was just like,
Because sometimes when I have intense events, and I've never been in anything as intense as that, I get out of there, I'm like, I don't really remember what happened. It felt like I was like on a roller coaster, and then you get off the roller coaster, you don't remember the turns.
Right.
Is that how it felt?
It was just like that. I think I was in there for 5 minutes. It felt like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Fritzy, now here we have, you often get accused of having an allegiance to ESPN. Here we have a fellow employee who's going through a 9-month job interview, and it's being encouraged by the boss. Now, is there a double standard here, Todd?
No, because one of us has genuine talent and one of us thinks he does. So I'm going to defer to Two-Days. He's actually someone that can sing very well. I'm under the impression that I can sing very well, even to the point where if I'm driving home, I'm turning down the music so I can listen to the sound of my own voice, which is very sad. But he's chasing a dream. I was encouraged, by Dan, and all of us jumped on that to see how far he can go, and we're proud of him. And he is a true talent, and hopefully they have seen that. We won't find out till January, but hopefully there's some good news and a golden ticket at the end of the rainbow for him.
Now, Toozers, what if you get to the final 8? Would you tell Dan to kick rocks at that time?
Final 8, you're going on tour.
Yeah,
right?
Final 8, you're going on tour. I don't think I can answer that question because I think it would be tipping something if I did or did not. So.
Well, about a hypothetical, let's say 7 months from now, you have a career where you could make 6 figures on a tour with American Idol, and at the very least, you could pay the bills by just doing music locally, even in the tri-state area. Would you say, I'm going to focus all my attention on music and earn a living just doing that? Or say, like, you know what, I better know where my bread is buttered and maybe keep this as an option.
Your bread is buttered in another way, though.
Right.
You've got
double butter.
You've got better bread and better butter.
Yeah.
At that point.
It depends on scheduling, though, I feel like. If I had to play shows or go on tour.
But I'm guessing when you're 15, you didn't dream about, and not to be brutal, to answer phone calls and cut tape, and you do a lot of production things on the Dan Patrick Show. I don't know if that was your dream at 15. I'm guessing when you're 15, you're like, man, I would love to be on stage playing music.
Music more, definitely. I mean, working in TV and radio is great, too, but music is definitely my thing that I wanted to do, so it'd be pretty cool to do it. So I'd probably have to say that. But my first interview would be here.
Here's the thing, though. You don't know that. You can't say that.
No,
if you want American Idol, because Nick Fradiablo, he's your buddy, but it took us a while to get Nick Fradiani. He's a good dude in studio here, and your relationship with him helped get him in studio.
All of a sudden, you're like, hey, it's my manager. I can't. It's like the Idol people can't do that.
This is my PR person.
You're gonna do that whole move.
All right, let's go around the room here and get your predictions on whether or not he made it to Hollywood. McLovin, you go first.
100% he's going to LA.
You guys agree? Fritzy?
Yeah, he's going. Yeah, we're trying to read his body language and his mood and his facial expressions. He's not giving us anything, but I can picture him with that golden ticket running out of the room, excited, waving it. So even though we weren't there to greet him in the hallway, but his family was. So he's going.
I 1,000% agree. He's going.
He got the ticket. He's going to Hollywood, I think.
All right.
But we don't know.
Cue blank stare from Dan Overlog. What? All right. Well, we cannot wait.
Good at that.
We cannot wait till this episode airs. What? I mean, bated breath. Hey, maybe you get out to LA. You can come get me some coffee and breakfast. All right. Stay with us. We are done mocking. Toots. It's time to mock some headlines. That's next. Welcome back to the Box Score. Guys, the world of sports is starting to get exciting. You had Majors Golf, preseason football, baseball, and NASCAR. So pretty fun here. If you missed some of the headlines, don't worry. The guys out here in the East Coast have cobbled together some headlines. It's time for a
Mock Headline Battle Royale.
I give you a headline, you give me a mock headline. First headline. Jason Day wins the 97th PGA Championship. Let's start in the back row with McLovin.
Oh, boy. I'm going to attempt to sing here. Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Day-o, day-o. Jason wins and Spieth wants to go home.
effort.
Yeah.
Yes. Come, Mr. Polyman, follow that headline.
Nice, Broccoli. PGA. Yeah.
PGA. That's it.
PGA.
Fritzy, what do you got?
I've got good day, mate. Way to vertigo, Jason.
Nice.
Way to vertigo.
That's me.
He used to joke off his affliction. That's great.
That's meant to be, it's more of a play on words. Not meant to be.
Yeah, it's a joke about his affliction.
That's
a shot.
He doesn't appreciate that.
Look up WebMD.
Australian, good day.
Seton, your mock headline.
Hey, Jason Day. What does PGA stand for? Pretty generic accomplishment.
Oh.
No offense.
Holy.
Wow.
In
Yeah,
the
thumbs
face.
up for that.
Pretty generic.
Wow.
Square in
Do
the
we have the
face.
proper clearance? Shots were fired.
All right, second headline. The Red Sox score 22 runs to win on Ben Affleck's birthday, the guy with the nanny. Ooh. For the first time since 1997. Front row, Polly.
Boston scores 22 on Affleck's birthday. Too bad the season is bend over.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ben.
Fritzy.
Jennifer may be goner, but at least your team won on your birthday.
Yeah, Gone Girl.
Goner. Yeah, Goner's good.
Jennifer Garner.
Bit of a stretch.
Divorce.
Alias. Okay. Seton, your headline.
Nanny Cam. That's not the only people scoring 22 times for Ben Affleck.
Hey!
Wow.
Hey-o!
4 rings.
Not nice.
And finally, McLovin.
Baseball catch 22. Ben wants to celebrate, but doesn't want to seem too happy because he's got some legal stuff going on with Jen Garner.
I was hoping you were going to go Heller.
Yeah.
What the hell's a catch? Oh, that's literature. Our third headline, Zach Greinke homers and strikes out 8 to lead the Dodgers past the Reds. Fritzy, let's start with you.
I've got he's all zacked up. Better get this guy tested.
Oh, accusatory.
Oh.
Wow.
Hi, colonic to you. Seton, you're next.
I took this from the Todd Fritz playbook. Granky Panky, Zach plays with his wood, gets past third base.
Yeah.
McLovin.
I'm bum-garnered out. The LA-based production staff chose to emphasize a Dodger over the Red Hot Giants.
Wow.
Bum-garnered out.
Fair criticism.
Obscenities in my earpiece. Okay, Paulie.
I forgot to write one down, so I'll just go with Zach Greinke.
That's pretty good.
Finally, our last headline.
Thank you.
Tim Tebow rushes for a touchdown in his Eagles debut. Seton, start us off.
The gospel according to Timothy. Grace, mercy, and a solid read option from God the Father and Christ Jesus our Lord.
That's actual wording.
That was actual.
Yeah. I went to Catholic school. That's true.
He fit that all on his eye black, huh? Fritzy, your headline.
I've got T-Boner. Excited fans treat him like Regal Eagle.
T-Bone.
Yeah.
Is that a Three's Company reference in there?
And a wonderful.
That boner sound effect keeps on going. Paulie.
With a P.
I also have T-Boner, sports media sporting wood with return of Timmy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
A lot of boner humor in this.
Boner humor works.
We got wood and 2 T-Boners.
Seaman, I know where we're going here. All right, McLovin.
And to bring it all home, circle back. Tebow. Timmy rushed for a TD and Barkley want to go home.
Oh, callback, Andrew Perlow.
Yeah.
Circle gets the square.
And the winner of the Mock Headline Championship belt and Harry Belafonte tribute is McLovin.
Yeah.
Wow, huge late flag.
Tebow.
Well deserved.
Come, Mr. Dodge Ram Heavy Duty, come to a live read. Here we go. We are taking a break. Remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, doesn't need one. And it loves bananas, so you can throw as many as you want in the back of that Ram Heavy Duty. Doesn't affect it at all. It'll tow them all the way out there to the beach. Eat them. Enjoy bananas. A lot of potassium. Guts, glory, Ram.
Do you take any blame of the phone issues?
No.
Zero.
All right.
Not even close.
All right.
Are we trying to instigate like a fight among Danettes? I'm trying to understand what we're.
Now you want to fight me, Todd?
I'm trying to understand what we're doing, and we're going to do that on the box score for 20 minutes and then 2 hours. What are we? I don't know what we're trying to accomplish. Right? But I wasn't pointing any fingers, and if it came across that I was blaming anybody in the back or anybody in the front, then I apologize, and I didn't. I wasn't clear enough.
Wait, is that one of those? If anyone was offended, all right, Seton is walking over, and he is reaching out, and he is going to hug Fritzy.
We're closing up shop here at the box score. A tender moment brought on by the drop call hat trick, courtesy of Mike Mayock and Mr. Todd Fritz. So, Todd, here it is. Let's relive the trifecta.
What about the quarterbacking situation there in Philadelphia with Bradford's injuries, Sanchez? You still have Matt Barkley, and then Tebow. Yeah, can you hear me, Mike? Uh-oh, Mike. So I looked at Mariota in that story, and I thought that doesn't mean anything to me.
You there?
Yeah. No. And you played in the NFL a little bit, right?
Here we go again.
Oh no. Damn. All right, Fritzy, just tell him thank you.
You know, I mean, we can sit here and laugh about it, but you know, the fact is, Todd's just being lazy and not doing his job.
Yeah.
And I wish that he would get a little bit more effort, put a little more effort into his job, and actually take care of the phone lines before he puts a guest on the air, because he's really making the show look bad. And you know, frankly, I think we're all being pretty nice to him about it. Yeah. But at a certain point, I mean, I don't want to say somebody should be fired, but maybe that's what I'm just saying. Other places might go there.
Just what I was going to say. That seeing Gig out of his seat to come over and give me a hug made me feel so much better. In that moment, I was genuinely.
Well, he felt better because you weren't on the air talking about it. You got to get a reprieve of another man's arms.
All I know is I was getting very angry. The buildup of all the phone crap that's happened, over
just
time.
Do your job, Todd.
And then it happens again, and then. Seton could tell that I was in desperate need of a hug because I was getting, even though none of them have seen me in a kind of major fit of rage, I was, in the moment I was getting really pissed off. I wasn't gonna walk out or anything, but I was,
Who were you pissed at?
I was just the situation, and I was angry that there was phone problems, and then I knew ultimately Dan was gonna, either blame me or direct it towards something that a box that I didn't check or something I did or didn't do that's caused this yet again.
What's next with the phones? What's happening today?
I don't know. I know that there was work being done on it, and since the show ended, our friend, should I name names? So the guys in the back have been feverishly working on it, testing the lines. So
are you involved in this process? Are you sort of QAing this? Or are you,
not really. I'm kind of staying out of it because I know my place, and my place is definitely not where anything technical.
But if you're involved in it, you could say, I oversaw it, and then you can give a report back to them and say, they told me it's good to go, and then you go back to them and say...
Well, I'm observing, and again, I don't...
From a distance?
I don't know any. I don't have any technical skills, so I'm observing what is being done. So I know efforts are being made. If it gets screwy again tomorrow, that's going to be very bad. And I think Dan's temper, and rightfully so, would show. It's you could wink at it once, but hopefully between now and tomorrow, that something like that will not happen.
I'll tell you, I started to get mad when it happened to Jim Nantz, because that to me, when it stopped being funny, I was sitting there going, all right, you know what? Sometimes that bit can go too long, and it wasn't a bit that we planned. You kind of roll with anything, but when I turned towards Seton about 5 seconds before Jim Nantz's phone line went kaput. I said, if this happens to Jim Nantz, it'll be unbelievable. And I didn't want it to happen, and it wasn't like a call I wanted to make, and then it happened. This now it's starting to suck because I want the guest to be on the line clearly. So it's one of those things. It's an occasional funny gaffe routine that we react off of. But if we don't get this fixed by tomorrow's show, we can't have guests on because we're not going to put on guests that ain't going to have interest. So we'll have to do a guestless show. And that's like our next step. And so if it's not fixed before tomorrow at 9 a.m., we're going guestless.
Now, that being said, Todd, a guestless show, how do you feel about that? I mean, it takes all of the pressure off of you for getting guests, but at the same time, it makes you almost useless to the show.
Yeah, I would have to step up my...
no offense.
No offense. I would have to step up my game of talking and trying to come up with
okay, Todd,
funny lines and stuff like
Paul, how do you feel now about Todd having to step up his game talking?
Well, he shouldn't change how he talks no matter what.
Can I say one thing though? I mean,
It's only one guest tomorrow anyway. It's not like we got to make sure the tech producers make sure TBA has a good line on Wednesday.
To be announced.
TBA is coming on
TBA
Wednesday.
is Thursday.
The cousin of TBD.
Steph Curry's coming on Wednesday. Everything else.
Well, Steph Curry, if the
All
phones
right.
are working,
This is
we have to fly him in.
Nothing.
The dog pile has just been too bloody to watch here. Todd, who are you hanging up on tomorrow?
Yeah. God willing, and the back row willing, if the phone is working, Spurs big man Matt Bonner.
We gotta get some of those Rich Eisen show phones. Those things are primo.
That would be a good idea. We need to put a couple of bucks into the phone lines, assuming it's our fault and not the guest fault. But Matt Bonner tomorrow, Steph Curry Wednesday. I think Frank Caliendo is supposed to stop by the Milford Man Cave on Friday. Back to you.
Fantastic. Hey, maybe you get Chris Brockman or Law on there. Hello, Rich Eisen. All right, we're back tomorrow. 2:39 right here in the audience. It's DirecTV. The podcast is available on iTunes or podcast1.com. Cheers.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees. Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!